Hello, Dr. Anders. I am Shuram. I took your English 210 class this semester, and I just want to take a moment before my final video presentation to just say thank you for your time this semester. And this class has been really valuable, and I've gained a lot. I've gained a lot of knowledge in this class. Thank you. And with that, here's my final video presentation. Hello, Agisat Laboratory. My name is Shuram Kalyankrishnan. This is my video presentation. Before y'all go ahead and read the recommendation report that me and my group of researchers sent over to y'all. Before we get into the recommendations themselves, I want to preface this entire presentation. Most of y'all should recognize me. For those of y'all that don't, I am Sriram. I am a fourth-year electrical engineering major, and I worked at Agisat Laboratory from 2021 until 2023. I worked on Agisat 6, Agisat 7, regs, and COI. I spent some time as the chief engineer of regs, and I also spent some time as the EPS lead for Agisat 6, and I also interned as the electrical power system intern for Agisat 6. So that's just a little bit of my background within the lab, and yeah, let's get into the recommendations. So the first recommendation that we made was to create a system to make task statuses clear to all members in the pipeline. Agisat hierarchy, the way it's currently set up, is very good at making tasking itself very clear to everyone involved. So a member on EPS or CDH or GNC, they know exactly what they need to do to make sure that their subsystem is ready to integrate come the time for the deadline. However, the nuance here is that task status itself is not very clear between members themselves and also members in management. And this creates a little bit of friction both between people and also friction in the task actually getting done on time. So adding a paper trail to this will allow for accountability both on the side of management and also membership, and allow there to be less friction overall between people and also in the task pipeline. Just because management won't have to worry about, oh, why is this task not getting done? And also membership won't have to worry about making sure that management isn't getting mad at them for not getting tasks done. And what we mean by paper trail is a very simple addition to the way that tasks are actually carried out. So each member, when they come into work, they have their own way of setting up, like, hey, these are the tasks I'm going to do. So for example, getting the charge cycle test done, or making sure that the IBIS PCB gets sent out, so on and so forth. And this is all very accessible to both the management and the membership. However, inevitably, there's going to be delays in terms of, hey, I don't know how to do this, or the software isn't working, this hardware isn't working, whatever it can be. What needs to happen is that these issues and these points of friction are communicated to everyone involved. So then that way management knows, like, hey, this is a really difficult task to get through, and maybe our deadline isn't realistic and we need to push back. And doing so will allow everyone to have a realistic timeline for when tasks need to be done. And it really just makes goals a lot more achievable. So that's our first big recommendation. Our second big recommendation is that all of this all these research-based theories that we're putting out to y'all are theoretical. They're words on a piece of paper, they're words on the SMAD, or they're words on the NASA Systems Engineering Handbook. And we all realize that that's wildly different to actual project management on an actual engineering project. And we recommend that regardless of whether y'all actually implement our first recommendation or any of our recommendations, we ask that any recommendations or different project management tactics that y'all actually implement within the lab should be implemented on a smaller scale. So putting this into practice in COI will allow the lab to measure out the validity of a certain tactic, and then they can be pushed out to AGISAT 6 or AGISAT 7 or some of the bigger projects in the lab. We're making this recommendation because some of the members, and also with my time at the lab, we've noticed that some of the big changes that come about within the lab are sort of out of the blue. We realize obviously that, you know, management thinks very hard about what to implement and what to not implement. However, it is quite jarring as a member to take that. So having seen that as a member, that, hey, this has worked on COI or this has worked on regs, and then that being pushed to, I guess, at 6 makes people a lot makes the change a lot more palatable for people. So those are two big recommendations.